Hey y'all, Rick from Ozark Living Homestead. It's been about 3.5, 4 weeks since I did the last video. I've been real sketchy on getting some of the videos out or getting any done. One, been sick a lot off and on. I get rid of the flu or I get rid of the cold and I get another one. Most of it's coming from the grandkids, but I'm not really complaining that it comes from the grandkids because I'm always glad to have them out here. But anyway, guys, there's been a lot going on, here. Of course, trying to get as much work done as possible, before spring, because there's other things I want to get done during the spring and summer. This is our second, I don't even know if you want to call it a snowfall. But anyway, this is our second snow of the year, which wasn't much. We didn't have any very, very minimal sleet that came along with it. So basically, it melts the next day. This came during the night. The other one came a couple of days, 2 or 3 days ago. Came during the day and into the night. And as soon as the sun comes out, it pretty much melts almost all of it away. Today was one of the days that my wife is off. She's always off on a Sunday and a Monday. But they called her in because the other girl had called in sick and they were so booked up. They needed somebody in, so she went in. Normally she would have been out. But anyway, guys, you can see the goats over there. I'll take you over later on another video real soon. I'm going to try to get some more videos out. But we've had 2 born so far. 2 goat babies born so far, and both of them males. And both doing good. And we've been having a problem. You can hear those guineas going crazy, and I'm going to show you why they're going crazy. We've been having a problem, and I couldn't figure out how it was happening and what was going on, but we were losing chickens. And we were finding half-eaten chickens or the skeletons of chickens, during the day. And we've had that problem in the past, and we actually found that problem. It was a fox, getting them during the day. Got a lot of our turkeys and a bunch of hens and stuff. But the last couple of days, well, last few days, probably a week or so, we have been losing hens and roosters, and couldn't figure out how they were getting them, and we couldn't see them because they're locked in the coops at night. And we knew they were locked in the coops, but somehow they were getting them. And we only have a couple that will roost outside, and we can never catch them, get them in the coop. So we just let them roost outside, but they were always here. So what happened is, I always come out a little after dark and I lock them in the coop. And being sick, I was coming out a little later sometimes, not a lot later, but around 9 o'clock or so, and I would lock them in the coop. I just didn't feel like coming out. And then I knew I had to get up and get out here and do it, so I come out around 9 and lock them in the coop. Well, what happened is, I set a live trap, because I knew it was something getting them. And there's what we got. We got it last night. I caught him about 3 nights ago. I was coming out with the flashlight, and it was dark, and it was still early. It just turned dark, and I shined the light. I heard a big commotion in the coop, the big coop. Sorry about that, guys. I'm not paying attention. I heard a big commotion in the coop. And here comes this coon comes running out of the coop and over toward the old shed over there. So then I knew what was going on. He was going in there very, very early before I was locking the coop, and he was getting a chicken and in the house with the TV going, and then just other noises and everything. I didn't hear the chickens. I didn't hear anything. The dogs way on the other side. He would bark, or she would bark, but she always barks. So anyway, I set the trap, and a couple of nights ago, got no hits on it or anything. And I had cooked some chicken, and I was using parts of the old chicken that I cut off as bait, and nothing touched the bait. So Night before last, something got the bait, but did not set the trap off, so I couldn't figure out what was going on. But then last night I reset it again. I put some of the old chicken in there. It was starting to smell pretty good. And of course, this morning, as you can see, this is what I got. Now I've got to dispose of him. But yeah, it was kind of funny because I couldn't figure out how in the world I was losing these chickens and not seeing anything take them. And I knew they were locked in the coops at night. Well, this thing apparently got smarter than I was and was coming real early, getting what he wanted, and then just taking off back over toward the old shed, because that's where I saw him run toward. But anyway, and you can hear that's why these guineas are going crazy. They know it's here, and they're not going to be quiet till I dispose of it, get rid of it there. So, but anyway, guys, this is just a little short update. I'll let you guys know because I've had quite a few people PM me, want to make sure I was all right. You know, I've been feeling really, really good lately, last week or so. But yeah, these colds and flu and whatever, it just keeps coming and going. So, but anyway, guys, I'm gonna get some more videos out. I've been working on the tractor, and that's another thing. I never actually finished with the tractor. What I was doing with the tractor, I made a final video on what I was doing with the tractor, where it broke down. But I got it back up and running. Got the bush hog now pulled up against, and I'll do a video on that. It's pulled up against a tree right now. Excuse me. But I got the blades off of it, and I'm sharpening the blades on this thing because they needed it really badly. I never did it when I bought the thing. I bought the tractor and the bush hog together, but I never did sharpen the blades on it. But they needed it really badly. So, in fact, I had to cut one of the bolts off, and one of them actually was very loose. But I had to cut one of them off just to get the bolt off of there. So of course I had to replace the bolts. And anyway, I'll get into all that, but you know, the bolts were all rusted on there, and so I've got the bolts. I'm having to drill holes in them now because they have a castle nut on them, and you put a cotter pin in there. But anyway, I'll get all into that when I do a video on that, or how I'm doing that. And I learned a lot of this stuff from watching other YouTube videos, because I had never owned a bush hog before. I had no idea how to do it. In fact, I had a couple of neighbors right here tell me, "Oh, not to worry about it. You never have to do that. You know, you don't have to sharpen the blades." Well, apparently you have to sharpen the blades, and I don't. Maybe they just never sharpened theirs or didn't know. I don't know, but you know, I'm sharpening mine. I just because it had a bad vibration in it. And for one, I understand, it's like a lawnmower blade. You have to balance them pretty much, and then things can be loose. But when you get them balanced, they don't have as bad a vibration in them. And luckily, like I said, one of the blades was very loose on there. In fact, the nut was working its way off of there. So luckily, I did decide to do that. You know, it may have not hurt nobody. It may have just dropped and fell. But it could have slung that thing off of there. So that's just something I need to keep up with in the future, you know, make sure everything's working properly. But, oh, and this here, because I've had a couple people come out here and ask me what I was doing. Well, not just to see what I was doing, but people that come by want to know what this trench was that's running from the house up there with this black pipe in it. I dug this with a middle buster, which a lot of you know what a middle buster is. It goes on the back of the tractor and sort of digs a trench. It's not real deep. And I'm just kind of going along with the shovel, kind of leveling it out. It's not really hard to do. But it's so clay that the mud sticks to the post hole diggers and the shovel. So it's kind of hard to get it done when it's wet. But anyway, it's a gray water line that comes from the house. And I'm running it underground here because I've had it on the ground, top of the ground for a while. But I'm running it underground, and it keeps running, and it keeps running out here. And then I'm going to run it on out a little farther back out on the other side of the trailer over there toward the creek there. But that's what that is, and that's what that black line is, the gray water line. But I need to kind of get it, try to get it as level, well, not as level, but have a drop on it so when it's draining, it won't set in pockets in there. And since it's not that deep, it's pretty deep, but since it's not that deep, I don't want it to sit there underground and freeze up in the winter time, and then I have a ton of problems out of it. And as you guys can see, it's pretty deep there. It's probably almost 1.5 feet or so, maybe 2 feet. And didn't have a real problem with anything till I got right down here close to these trees. Had a lot of roots, but it wasn't a big deal. But I got to buy some more of this black pipe. This black pipe actually was a pipe that was on the property when I bought the property. And so I'm just kind of making use of it. But it's got a good drop where that water comes down and it flows on out. And like I said, I'll get it out there toward the creek there. And it's just gray water line. It's nothing in there. It comes from the tub and sink and stuff like that. So anyway, here's this coon. He's not too happy. He's been in there a while because he's done kicked up a lot of mud. In fact, I don't know if he was digging from outside or inside, but he's got prints on top in the snow, and he's got mud all around it where he's been digging around it, or there's another one digging around it. So I'm gonna have to reset this. I mean, he's thrown mud everywhere trying to get in there or out of it. I don't know. Trying to get to that chicken before he finally went in there, set that trap off. But what the heck? He has tore that trap up. Yes, he has. He has actually ripped up the part that you step on that trips the trap. I don't know if you guys can see that under there, but he has bent that thing up and moved it from where it was. So I'm gonna have to repair it now. He's been in there a while, so I need to go ahead and get rid of him because I don't want him to suffer, but I can't have him running around here. So anyway, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and get off of here. As you guys can see, there's the snow, and pretty neat. I mean, I've lived around snow before. We lived in northern Illinois for a while, so, but haven't seen anything in quite a while. All right, guys, I'm gonna get off of here, and if you like the video, go ahead and subscribe. And I appreciate all you guys, and you guys have a great day.